Coming up, a blast kills hundreds at a Gaza hospital as President Biden is on his way to Israel.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. President Biden is on his way to Israel to show support and address the growing humanitarian crisis. But his visit has been complicated by a deadly airstrike that has left hundreds dead at a hospital in central Gaza and unrest in the West Bank. CBS's Tina Kraus has the latest from Tel Aviv.
The Palestinian Health Ministry says a massive blast killed hundreds of people at a Gaza City hospital, filled with the wounded and others seeking shelter. Hamas pointed blame at an Israeli airstrike. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas called the bombing a war crime and massacre. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said an analysis shows the explosion was caused by Islamic Jihad rockets that misfired inside Gaza.
An analysis of the IDF operational systems indicates that a barrage of rockets was fired by terrorists in Gaza.
A statement from President Biden on the hospital airstrike reads in part, "I am outraged and deeply saddened by the explosion. The United States stands unequivocally for the protection of civilian life during conflict." The tragedy at the Gaza hospital happened as President Biden left for his visit to Israel. A senior administration official tells CBS News the president's meeting with Arab leaders in Jordan has been called off, and that it was a mutual decision. Gaza remains under siege amid a growing humanitarian crisis after Hamas's brutal rampage in southern Israel. A young survivor described escaping from militants at a music festival, but losing her best friend.
Some voices that I heard said that they said, "I'm going outside. I'd rather take a bullet in my head than suffocate."
Flyers like this calling for the return of men, women, and children kidnapped by Hamas during the attack are being posted in major cities around the world. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
The Israel Defense Forces issued a statement saying since the beginning of the war, approximately 450 rockets launched toward Israel have fallen within Gaza. Meanwhile, in Lexington tonight, dozens gathered for a rally for Palestine. More than 100 people gathered downtown for the pro-Palestine demonstration. They called for an end to the Israeli attacks on Gaza and the end to U.S. aid for Israel.
We demand immediate ceasefire and de-escalation and humanitarian aid for all who are displaced.
Speakers at the rally say hospitals in Gaza have already been struggling to tend to the wounded, as reports say at least 3,000 people have been killed and 12,500 wounded so far, and food and water supplies are running low. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives failed to elect a new speaker today. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan did not receive the necessary number of votes. WYMT Washington News Bureau reporter Josh Roltenberg has the latest on the next steps.
The House will meet at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday morning. Republicans are expected to nominate Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan once again. Democrats will offer up House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. On Tuesday, Jordan lost 20 Republican votes, one more than California Congressman Kevin McCarthy on his first attempt to become Speaker in January. Jordan can only afford to lose 3 votes to ensure he wins a majority of the House. Jeffries received the greatest number of votes from all 212 members of the House Democratic Conference. The House cannot pass any bills until a speaker is elected, and there are real consequences as a result. Keep in mind there's 2 major wars in Israel and Ukraine that lawmakers would like to provide aid for, as well as the U.S. government set to run out of its own money in a month. In Washington, I'm Josh Roltenberg.
Well, we are tracking some chilly temperatures across the mountains as we close out your Tuesday, but some better weather is on the way as early as tomorrow. Those temperatures right now, though, are chilly in the upper 40s and lower 50s, up to 51 for Jackson, also Manchester, 52 for London, 48 in Whitley County, and 49 over in Pikeville at this hour. Up on the radar, we are dry but cloudy, but notice that clearing line over central Kentucky that will continue pushing off to the east as we go into tonight. So we are tracking some clearing conditions tonight tonight, and also some chilly conditions. Those lows back in the middle to lower 40s as you wake up on Wednesday, and possibly a few areas of upper 30s in those cooler pockets. But again, we do stay dry overnight under that clearing sky, and that will set the stage for a beautiful Wednesday on the way across the mountains. We stay dry under some sunshine. Temperatures also warmer, topping out in the middle to upper 60s, and be sure to enjoy that because more changes on the way by Thursday, also Friday. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. A death investigation is underway in Estill County. State police say deputies were called to Main Street in Ravenna. A family member found 44-year-old Randall Anglin unresponsive inside his home. Authorities tried to revive him but couldn't. Foul play is not suspected. An autopsy will be performed. A 76-year-old Southern Kentucky man is facing drug charges after police say they responded to a home where they found a woman dead. Pulaski County deputies say it happened Sunday night on Shoreline Drive. They found Johnny Bullock lying on top of a woman's body and drugs in plain sight. The woman, Linda Lawson, was pronounced dead at the scene. Bullock was arrested. The sheriff says Bullock was possibly dealing drugs.
The quantity of drugs that was in the apartment, somebody was dealing drugs. So it's not personal use quantities that was recovered from this residence, so somebody was dealing drugs.
Deputies say they found 2 pounds of meth and 50 grams of heroin. Organizations working with veterans are finding ways to help those who served our country. Several organizations gathered in Whitesburg for an outreach event, speaking to veterans about issues and ways they can help. National Legislative Member Nathan Sesko, who is a veteran, says military recruitment numbers are down, but they can increase with more transparency.
For me, looking at it, it would be better for veterans to know, or active military people to know that they're going to be taken care of afterwards. I think that would be a better recruitment tool than saying, let's not tell them, let's keep them in the military.
Sesko and other folks leading the gathering say meeting people face-to-face is an important aspect, and they are also pushing legislation to better veterans' lives. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and doctors say it's a good reminder for women to remember to get their yearly breast exam. Kristen Hurt with the ARH Breast Center in Hazard says 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, saying it's important for all women to pay attention to any breast abnormalities.
Any changes in the skin of the breast, nipple retraction, skin dimpling, any lumps that you may feel around the area that are abnormal, any nipple discharge that is discolored.
Hurt says if you are noticing abnormal symptoms, call your primary care doctor and they should get you in for an appointment. High school juniors from around Pike County gathered today to show they are East Kentucky Strong. The annual East Kentucky Strong event celebrates women in the mountains, showcasing the multitude of options available for careers, training, and more. The event, which just wrapped its 7th year, is about informing and empowering young ladies, giving them a space to learn together.
And for a lot of our young women, they're not really aware of like what is out there, what is possible for them. And so this is just a great eye-opener for them, and it really gets them to be thinking like, what do I want to do with my future?
Those involved say the event would not be possible without community partners, and they are proud of how it has grown, hosting around 350 girls today. It was a good day for the arts in Hazard. The Appalachian Arts Alliance Radio Takeover Day raised more than $32,000. The 4th annual event on WSGS Radio featured live music, special guests, and a DJ battle between representatives from the city of Hazard and Perry County. Well, coming up on Mountain News at 11, the Fleming Neon Middle School Lady Pirates finally get the chance to play on their new home floor nearly 15 months after the flood.
And after gloomy weather on Monday and Tuesday, we are tracking some sunshine by tomorrow. Those details coming up after this break.